Welcome to Hot Topics in International Trade, brought to you by Bromiller Law Group and Bromiller Consulting Group. Hi, this is Bob Brewer with Bromiller Law Group and Bromiller Consulting Group. Welcome to the podcast. With me again, I have Brenda Cordova, our Mexico legal counsel, and we had decided we were going to do a separate podcast on value manifest now. We already did one on the customs reform, but this one's just as important, if not more important, on the value manifest. What is it, Brenda?
Oh, well, the value manifest is a declaration under oath, so like an affidavit, which is made by the importer about the value of the goods, which is declared for customs purposes. In other words, the value manifest is a format or is a document that includes the details of the value which is being declared at the time of importing, so that the authority knows that our paying for import duty is correct based on a correct value.
Okay. So it's just it really is a new control measure that they've implemented.
It's a new measure because this will be done electronically.
Okay.
Now, it's not new on the other side because the value manifest is something that has been a requirement for importers since a few years ago.
So they were just writing it on napkins or something like that? I mean, no.
Almost.
Okay. So now, if you stop with the napkins, let's put this in the actual system electronically.
Yes.
Right.
There is this format, which is a format prepared by the Mexican government.
Okay.
It's completed, typing or even completed on a Word document.
Okay.
And then must be printed and signed, hand stamp signed by the importer. So right now and until December 8th, before December 8th from this year, companies are required to have this value manifest form in a hard copy, to give this form to the broker, and to keep it also in their records in hard copy. This is something which was done, but not with the attention or the importance that they should have been done since the beginning.
Okay.
Because some companies relied on the broker for completing this form. They relied on the broker for everything and for all of the information there. Francisco de la Cruz, our Mexico partner.
Shout out, Francisco.
Shout out, Francisco. Greetings to Francisco. We have done audits to some companies. Yeah. And when we go there, one of the things we ask them is, can we see the value manifest?
Right.
In many cases, the importers said, oh, we don't have it. Oh, let's ask the broker. Oh, and then if they have it, we ask who completed. They have no idea. Or even they said, oh, it's not signed. Or there were some discrepancies. And that's why companies were not putting many attention. This document was not required to be provided to the authorities at the time of importation, or it was not something the authority was inspecting or reviewing.
Gotcha.
So now the authority says, the value manifest is one of the most important documents because it has the value. And based on that, I know if you paid or not the correct import duty.
Well, you just look at what are the implications of this?
Yes. Yeah, what are the implications is that, companies, maybe they were reporting incorrect values and it was more complicated for the authority to confirm and validate if your manifest, your declaration under oath was correct or not. So now the change, it's very relevant. And
yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, we look at it from, on the discussions that we have, it's always, the importer of record is responsible. Don't get me wrong. We love our brokers. A lot of our business comes from brokers, but you can't always trust that this information is correct. We do audits all the time as a result, samplings of what's in your supply chain just to make sure. So Mexico's playing a little catch up on this, it sounds like.
I think Mexico, exactly. Yeah. I like the way you said it. I think Mexican customs operations were behind.
Yeah, sounds like it.
On the way the authority was able to confirm and trace if companies were doing things correctly if the broker, as an important participant on these transactions, we're also doing things correctly. So now it's catching up, trying to keep up with the needs, trying to keep up on what it needs to do business internationally on a more like...
Well, when you have an oh crap moment in your supply chain, every little finger pointing starts and all that. I mean, like, what are the sanctions? What are the non-compliance? What happens there?
Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit before we get into the sanctions.
Sure.
Now the government says you must continue providing the value manifest to the authority upon request or to the broker. But I want to make, the authority said, I want to make a big change here. Mm-hmm. Now, before you do any importation into Mexico, you must provide me to the authority or provide to the authority the value manifest. But now, instead of giving me a document or a hard copy, signed, hand-stamped signed, now the importer, starting December 8th from this year, is required to submit the value manifest electronically using the importer's information, the electronic signature, or all of these passwords, which are sensitive information that in normal operation should only have the importer. So that means that now the authority will be able to know who actually signed or completed the value manifest. And moreover, before the importation takes place. So the authority, at the time the importer submits the value manifest through the electronic single window, the authority already has the information on their hands, on their system. And remember, now the authority has customs can sign agreements for data analytics, and technology and artificial intelligence with the technology agency.
Got it.
So now the authority has more power. Now, if I want to mention here something also important is that the obligation under the customs law remains the same.
Okay.
So there is no change on the value manifest obligation on the importer, but now the difference is you, importer, send it to me directly. And now there is no excuse for saying the importer completed for me, the customs broker completed this for me, or I don't know why that value was declared, because now the authority will say and has the power to say, I have your electronic signature.
All right.
So now who else completed if not you? So the obligation is for every importation.
Okay.
The exemption starting December 8th is for companies with an authorized economic operator for IMEXs. So meaning IMEXs with the authorized economic operator certification are exempt from submitting this electronic value manifest.
Why is that?
It's just one of the benefits.
One of the benefits?
One of the benefits to these companies. But of course, to get this certification is not an easy thing. You have to...
that's what documents need to go with this?
Now, in order for the importer to submit the value manifest, they log into the electronic single window with the passwords, secret information, electronic signature, and then they input or insert the importer's name, address, and all of that company's information, but also the price of the goods, the price that was paid, the valuation methodology, which is something very important.
Oh, yeah.
So the value manifest is not new. The value methodology is not new. There's no change on that. The way the new change is how you submit it and who submit it. So in addition to entering that information into the system, almost at the end, there's this space for importers to attach information, to attach documents. What documents are those? So mainly the invoice, proof of payment, checks, ACH, transfers, transportation documents, contracts.
was going to say, can someone attach a purchase order instead of a contract?
Now, that's a really good question. And it's been one of the questions all over the place because, so now, the purchase order or the contract, that can give anyone the ability to confirm if what is the price that you declare, the price on the invoice, is consistent with the terms and conditions that you have signed with your counterpart.
Got it.
So the authority wants to be able to trace if the value declared is correct based on the other documents attached. So one question which has been all over the place is, instead of a contract, can I attach a purchase order or any other document? And the answer, let me tell you, is not clear yet.
It's not clear.
As an attorney, I can tell you that, number one, a contract, we would have to step us outside customs regulations and go to the civil law to identify or understand what is a contract from a legal perspective.
Okay.
A contract is an agreement between two parties where they can agree almost whatever they want, and this is not something prohibited. They can agree whatever they want, and it must include two elements. One element is the will or the intention of the parties, and the other one is the confirmation of that, meaning the consent.
Right.
So the will and consent. So if you have a purchase order that identifies those two elements, that could be considered a contract. But this is speaking from separate from customs. So if you talk to a customs consultant or expert, that's the question. Can I use a purchase order? So my answer would be, let's step outside customs and foreign trade and go to the civil regulations to see if your purchase order would meet the requirements of what is deemed legally a contract.
Okay.
Because purchase orders, sometimes they already include those elements. Now, the other thing is, how can I make sure that my consent is actually on the purchase order?
Right.
If it's not signed, it doesn't have a hand stamp signature. Now, people can be very conservative, and they may want to say, no, please use ink and hand stamp your signature.
How else are they signing?
But now, the regulations allow for electronic signatures through specific validated systems allowed by the law. So that could also be on the table, for clarifications for those that, need more certainty. Can I use a purchase order with an electronic signature? And the answer would be, legally speaking, let's identify the two elements. Mm-hmm. But if you want more certainty, I think the authority is right now working on frequently asked questions.
Gotcha.
For clarifications of this nature. And also we expect new new customs rules. In the following weeks, we will be having new amendments.
Sounds like fun. So in 1 minute or less, is there anything else that we really need to know? I know you can help companies with this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can help. We have been providing trainings and helping and assisting companies on how to complete the value manifest correctly. So just to summarize, if you are an importer and you don't have an authorized economic operator certification, be aware that every importation that you are doing into Mexico must be performed through a value manifest first. You need to train your personnel internally. Don't rely on your broker to do that, because now many brokers don't want to do this.
Right.
Because now they don't have waivers of responsibility.
Right. I don't want my butt on the line.
Yes, exactly. So some brokers are saying, no, this is the importer's responsibility. Yep. And I think that's the way it should be done since the beginning. And you said it. Now Mexico is catching up.
That's right. All right. Well, Brenda, I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for part 2.
Thank you.
And everybody else out there, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Whatever the heck you're celebrating. God bless you. See you later.
Thank you.